very lonely thing. Consciousness split before the body did into all the different personality types. But eventually, it was literally, okay, let's see, how can I design my consciousness system? How can I design this mind? I'll fragment myself. I'll bounce information off this part of myself and get a different feedback than what I would off this different vibration. Start building in perception through fragmentation. Eventually that becomes very mechanical too. And still very boring. And eventually a big plan was constructed by all the fragments. Because it all came together again. Started thinking, how do we do this? And we started figuring out how to build a body. And the more we fragmented the personalities, the more information we started extracting out of this consciousness system. And as it fragmented more and more mind to solve itself. Eventually algorithms and mathematics to solve information way faster. Keep regenerating new character, personality. Eventually we come up with enough information for how to build a system, a solid physical system that would separate every single one of the fragments. And it's really neat because the body, the evolution of the body through dimensions or through what we refer to more as aliens, follows the same information structure. At one point, the bodies were developed, but they still had no... It still looked alike, so you're still talking to yourself. We couldn't fool ourselves enough. And eventually, the processing power became stronger and stronger and stronger, where now we can start producing almost like randomly generated information, which is the high level of processing, which allows the clouds to continually keep moving in different patterns and different waveforms. We never really see the mechanical system behind it. There's so much complexity that it's hard for us to see the machine in life. And we can completely act outside of the mechanical part of the body. And it makes life start to feel very magical. It's the evolution of the body. Now the tricky part is we know that the body's not really necessarily real. It's still a figment of our own imagination or our own development. Because we know that the body's creating this whole reality out here. And this is kind of where like the future meets the past. So one part of us who split and went to the bottom on the conscious level, and the other part of us went to the top, into the higher consciousness level. The higher consciousness level knows how to do everything. But the consciousness level is the one that actually gets to experience being an individual. And once they connect, they can start transmitting information back and forth. In order to connect, we have to meet halfway, which is our surrendering, basically saying, you know what, you're right, this place is too massive, I don't know what the hell I'm doing or how I exist or anything, but I'd certainly like to know. What do I do? Where do I go? Where do I search? Everybody's searching out here. How did it start? It started in consciousness. Let's go inside. Let's think. Let's start reorganizing. If you guys watch the council video, creating the council, that will pick up where I'm leaving off right now. Because that goes into the creation of the council and how to go inside, split yourself, or unlocking tons of information. Basically the same process that this happened. One of the ways that you can connect with here are life after death experiences that connect you, or near-death experiences, or out-of-body. They connect you in here. And of course that's how I got gifted to be able to see a lot of the connections. And that's what Visions of Heaven is about, is me establishing a connection here and here. This is kind of what they refer to as the Trinity. Okay? Really, really neat. Singularity point is what we're waiting for. Remember the singularity point? Or what I call atomic consciousness? It's because everything exists within this bubble. I call it atomic consciousness because everything exists inside that bubble. It's a singularity point. Remember that system, 10, where it's all cubes? Everything's created inside that one cube. Well, that's what this is. It's 10. Everything exists inside here. Everything. That's the virtual systems. When you can get into a singularity point, every singularity point is the exact same as every other singularity point that exists everywhere in the universe. You ever hear these things called black holes? Nobody knows what happens when you go into them.
You don't feel good.
It's a black hole, and you also notice that with a black hole, this is a black hole, and you'll also notice that with a black hole there's a pulsing of energy that comes up from the center. It follows the law. The very end of the black hole is a singularity point. When you die, and you have a spirit body, or when you transcend and you can switch your body back from being a solid physical body into being a more gaseous spiritual body, if you can split into a spiritual body, you can find these holes all over the place. And they're a transport system. That's what we refer to as warp. When you can transform yourself into a spirit, you can hit these points and get sucked in as an energy. And while you're inside, it gives you access into the virtual system that literally gives you access into everything that's going on in the entire universe. Everything that's been built so far physically. And you can go there, also in time, which is pretty much anything you can imagine. You can go there and pick all your selections based off of the amount of information that you've managed to open your spirit to when you're in a physical body.
Is that what you experience?
Yeah, I've been in the singularity points. This here allows you to warp and basically shoot back out into any other region of space that there is. Find a planet of your choosing, eventually go down and get born into it and go through your experience that you choose or select. So this here turns your playground literally into a universal playground. But you can only access inside the singularity point what you have opened as your own personal playground. Okay? Now, that's if you die. So you're very limited. How many other worlds do you guys got sitting inside your head right now? Do you have other ones designed? Planets, how to set them up. So if it's not in here, where are you going to go? Back here, right? What's this? Eventually one